Hotels, restaurants, anything with cold storage. Those type of clients with a grid tie system without batteries can expect to save 30%, 30 to 35% on their overall bill. But clients that are 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 can more offset 70 to 75, 80% of their JPS bill without batteries. That's a 2 to 3 year cash payback. Or if you do it like an EXIM loan, you're cash flow positive from day one, meaning the loan payment is less than what your JPS bill was.
Wow.
Before. Yeah. So your savings is paying for the loan.
Have you ever wondered how much it would cost to outfit your entire business with solar electricity? I'm Khalila Reynolds, and it's time for another episode of MoneyMondaysJa, brought to you in partnership with EXIM Bank's Business Advisory Service, giving you the tools to grow your business. My guest today is Jason Robinson, CEO of Solar Buzz Jamaica. Hi, Jason. Welcome to MoneyMondaysJa.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
So tell me about the services you provide at Solar Buzz.
We provide solar systems to help people reduce their energy bills. We do energy assessments, but our main focus is installing, procuring, and constructing solar systems for commercial and residential clients.
Good. I was just about to ask if you do both commercial and residential. We want to focus a bit on the commercial. So what's the process like to get going? If you say, I'm just tired of paying JPS, or I want to have some type of balance between the two, how does that work when somebody approaches you?
Well, it's really simple. When people approach us, we have them fill out an online form, and we ask a lot of basic questions, because what we found is that people want to know an initial rough costing before they kind of get an idea of do they want to go forward with a site visit, etc. So that online form gives us an idea to tell the client, hey, you're in this region of your budget, expect to save about this much, depending on what type of load profile they have based on the questionnaire. From that point, now we need to do a more detailed energy assessment with a site visit, and then use the interval data, which is 15-minute usage from their meter over 24 hours over a 12-month period. That allows us to separate day load from night load, so we can be extremely accurate in designing the system, because we want to try, especially for commercial businesses, because their loads are usually heavier, batteries become very expensive. So most commercial clients are grid tied, meaning no batteries. So we try and offset 100% of their day load, and then they sip off the grid at night, because they're usually closed. Unless they're 24-hour operations. There's obviously variations.
Like in tourism, hotels.
Right, hotels, restaurants, anything with cold storage. Those type of clients with a grid tie system without batteries can expect to save 30%, 30 to 35% on their overall bill. But clients that are 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 can more offset 70 to 75, 80% of their JPS bill without batteries. That's a 2 to 3 year cash payback. Or if you do it like an EXIM loan, you're cash flow positive from day one, meaning the loan payment is less than what your JPS bill was.
Wow.
Before. Yeah. So your savings is paying for the loan.
That's pretty amazing.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, wow. Okay. You just blew my mind with that one statement right there. Is there any rule of thumb to try to figure out or get some type of rough estimate as to how much it may cost, or do you have to go through that process?
For Solar Buzz to give you a rough estimate, we can do that fairly easily and quickly within 24 hours of you filling out the form based on our schedule that day. We can give you a rough estimate of what the solar system would cost fairly accurately based on the jobs we've done and proposals we've done in the past. And that's usually what people want to have that jumping off point. They can say from there they want to go forward to the engineering of it where we get more accurate.
Right, or figure out at least how could I possibly pay for it.
Right, exactly. So they take that figure now and they'll be like, yes, I've been approved already by EXIM, for instance, for this much, so I know I can finance 100% of it or a portion of it with this EXIM loan. The rough quote is fairly easy for us to do. And then we can start talking to the client to make it more accurate, and then we work hand in hand with EXIM along the way, and other financial institutions that we're a partner with, to really make it easier for the client, to help them get the data they need, that the bank needs, that everyone can get the financing in place. And in our proposal, we speak to EXIM, and we would say, what is this client looking like they're going to get, as in their loan terms, and we include that in the proposal to make it easier for the client to see it visually as well, based with their offset, their drone shots, etc.
So how long does it typically take? And I know it varies depending on the
Yeah.
size of the business, but what's the turnaround time from me contacting you saying I'm interested in solar to you installing everything at my business?
From typical contact to installation, I would say you're looking anywhere from 2 to 3 months, and that because the loan process takes some time. But we can do our initial assessment and give a final proposal within 2 to 3 weeks, and then it's really up to the client to make the first deposit along with the bank.
And what's the installation process like?
It's intense, obviously, but a typical commercial client we can do within 1 to 2 weeks. So it doesn't take much time, and we don't need to cut power every day. So the client can still go with their normal operations. What we do is we run the panels on the roof, and then we wire down to the main electrical panel, and that will feed and offset the entire load based on how much the property is using. If it's cloudy and they need more from JPS, they'll take more from JPS at that time, and solar will supplement. But as it gets sunnier, then solar may provide all the power they need for that day. So it just depends on the weather patterns, and then as it turns to nighttime, it switches more to JPS. So a commercial solar system will supplement. It's not instead of JPS. It's supplementing JPS from day to night and weather.
Right. So you mentioned that you don't need to cut power every day, but what type of disruption are we possibly looking at?
We would usually cut power 2 to 3 hours on one of the days to when we're installing, and the client will say yes, you can do it during the week, or if we need to schedule that on a weekend, we would. So it's really up to the client's schedule and what their operations are like when we cut the power. So we try and be as not too evasive to disrupt anything for their business.
So tell me a little bit about your company, Solar Buzz. How long have you been in operation?
Solar Buzz has been in operation for 11 years, going on 12 years now.
And what are some of the clients that you've worked with?
Recently, we did Pioneer Chocolate Factory in Mandeville. We've done Gray's Peppers. We've done Island Smiles, which is Dr. Meeks's orthodontist factory. We also do energy efficiency work. We do a lot of work for Sagicor. King Pepper, which is Eaton's jerk seasoning, their factory for solar. Tasty Halfway Tree. Quite a few others.
So you're all over.
Yeah, we're all over the island, and we really work in that SME market. So we're not trying. Solar Buzz is not doing utility scale megawatt projects. We really work in that 200 kilowatt range and below, and into residential as well. So we really like working with the SMEs and residential clients, because that's our market.
Did you look at working outside Jamaica too?
Yes, I think it's something that is a possibility. We were actually contacted recently by some people in Guyana who I think we may make a trip to help them start looking at solar in that area for some of their factories.
So how did you get involved with EXIM?
We're approached by EXIM to have discussions regarding any ideas about solar financing and the policy. So we work with quite a few financial institutions. From our launch in 2011, it's been one of my main things is focusing on trying to get the banks to finance solar easier. So I had a few meetings with Winston, and one of the things that I think EXIM realized, and a few of the other financial institutions that we work with, is that there's a lot of solar companies out there, but Solar Buzz focuses on doing a certain quality installation. So we want our installations are always installed by licensed electricians and up to electrical code, so that the investment can be protected. You can add the solar system to your property insurance easily. We don't have an issue with any insurance company insuring our installations. And that's something that I think these institutions, especially EXIM, respect. Because once they're taking a risk by financing, and they need a solid partner, because if the system doesn't perform as promised, the client will stop paying the loan and they could default. And that's something that we can't afford to happen, because the banks give us a lot of our leads and we want to be a financial partner. So we really focus on good installation, but also servicing and maintenance. So through the length, especially of the loan, we make sure that the client systems are maintained, serviced. We monitor them 24/7 online. Any issues, we get messaged. So it's something that the bank feels confident that we will protect the investment to make sure the client is getting that return on their investment and is happy and doesn't have a problem paying the loan. And once the system performs as promised, people aren't going to default, because the alternative is 50 cents US dollar kilowatt hour
Well,
energy.
I just did an interview and they said it's running about 70 cents right now.
Yeah. It's about 50 cents US and about, I think, $70 Jamaican.
Oh, $70. That's what it was. Yeah, Jamaican
it's
dollars.
crazy. It's some of the highest energy costs in the world.
Yeah.
So, the key is to install and maintain it so that the clients see that return on their investment. And we keep in touch with every client that we work with monthly, and we say, look, you are on track to make your money back, and we keep in touch with our financiers as well. And so I think that's the type of partner that a company like EXIM institution respects, and that's how
That's
we're
really
chosen.
great. So how do people reach you?
Well, they can go to solarbuzzjamaica.com. That's really the easiest way. Our Instagram, Solar Buzz Jamaica, and those are the two easiest platforms to really come
Or
to
they
our
can
website.
find you tweeting all the time.
I don't tweet enough, not as much as you, but I'm trying. You're like my Twitter mentor. Just our website, social media, solarbuzzjamaica.com, really.
Awesome. Thank you,
Yes,
Jason.
thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right.
Here's a recap of Jason's key points. Businesses in the tourism sector can save 30 to 35% of their overall JPS bill after installing a grid-tied solar system. Businesses opened from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. can offset 70 to 80% of their JPS bill. EXIM Bank offers a solar energy loan that Solar Buzz works hand-in-hand with to provide the setup for your business. It can take 2 to 3 months for installation.
That's it for this episode of Money Moves JA, brought to you in partnership with EXIM Bank's Business Advisory Service, giving you the tools to grow your business. Check out their website at eximbankja.com or visit my website, KalilaReynolds.com, for a summary of this episode.